Have you ever stopped to think about the liquids all around us? I mean, really think about them. There's this invisible force, this hidden ruler that dictates how they taste, how they feel, and how they react. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly what it is. So let me set the scene for you. You've got a glass of what looks like plain old water. It's totally clear. You take a single drop of another clear liquid, add it in, and bam! The whole thing flashes this brilliant, vibrant pink. So what is this, some kind of magic trick? Nope, it's chemistry. And it's our first big clue into the mystery we're solving today. That instant color change, that's our key. It's a signal, a little message from the liquid itself, telling us about one of its hidden properties. To understand what it's saying, we've got to dive into a little bit of chemistry. Okay, so at its most basic level, no pun intended, chemistry often splits solutions into two big teams, acidic and alkaline. You might also hear alkaline called basic. The easiest way to get your head around this is with your senses. Think about acids. They're often sour, right? Like a lemon. On the other hand, alkaline things tend to feel kind of slippery. Think about soap. It's this hidden world of sourness versus bitterness. Right, but if these properties are invisible, how in the world do we actually see them? Well, this is where it gets cool. The secret is that certain special substances can act like tiny chemical detectives. They can dive into a solution, have a look around, and then change their color to tell us what they found, whether it's acidic or alkaline. So, what do we call these amazing chemical detectives? Well, in the world of chemistry, they've got a proper name. Indicators. Let's take a closer look at what they do. It's actually super simple. An indicator is just a substance that shows one color when it's in an acidic solution and a different color when it's in an alkaline one. That's it. That is their one brilliant job, to give us a visual sign about the invisible chemistry of a liquid. And here's the thing. It's not just one type of detective. There's a whole crew of them. You've got litmus, which turns red in acid and blue in alkali. You've got methyl orange, which goes from red to yellow. And that brings us right back to our original mystery. Phenolphthalein. It's completely colorless in an acid, but the moment it hits an alkaline solution, it turns that spectacular pink. Aha! So our magic trick was just phenolphthalein doing its job. Now, just knowing if something is acidic or alkaline is great, but it's not very specific. For scientists, that's like saying something is just hot or cold. They need to know how acidic or how alkaline it is. And for that, they came up with a universal ruler, the pH scale. The pH scale is basically that ruler. It's a way for everyone, everywhere, to measure acidity on the same scale. It usually runs from 0, which is super acidic, all the way up to 14, which is super alkaline. And right there in the middle, at a perfect 7, you have things that are neutral, like pure water. But here's where it gets really mind-bending. This is not your average ruler, where each number is just one more step. No. There's a hidden power built into the pH scale. A tiny step on this ruler is actually a giant leap. Every single whole number you move on the pH scale represents a 10-fold change. Yeah, 10 times. It's huge. So what does that mean? It means a solution with a pH of 3 isn't just a little bit more acidic than one with a pH of 4. It is 10 times more acidic. And a solution with a pH of 2? That's 100 times more acidic than the pH 4 solution. This kind of exponential scale is what lets it cover such a massive, massive range of substances. Let's put this into perspective with stuff you actually know. Way down at one end, you've got the acid in your stomach with a pH of around 1. I mean, incredibly acidic. Then in the middle, you've got pure water chilling at a neutral pH 7. And way up on the other end is something like household bleach with a very alkaline pH of 13. Our bodies, our food, our cleaning products, they are all at completely different spots on this scale. Okay, so this scale is powerful. We get that. But how do we actually use it? How do you figure out the pH of some mystery liquid you have? Well, let's look at the tools of the trade. One of the most common and easiest tools is universal indicator paper. You've probably heard it called pH paper. It's just a little strip of paper coated with a bunch of different indicators, and using it is so simple. You just dip the paper in, it changes color instantly, and then you match that color to a chart that came with it. Boom, you've got your pH value. It's a fantastic, simple way to get a quick read. But what if you need to be super exact? While pH paper is awesome for a quick check, for really serious scientific work, you need a pH meter. This is a digital gadget that gives you a precise, super accurate reading, right down to the decimal point. Think of it like this. pH paper is like glancing at a clock to get the general time. but a pH meter is like looking at a digital watch that gives you the exact second. Okay, this is all fascinating chemistry, but so what? Why does any of this actually matter in our day-to-day lives? Well, it turns out the pH scale isn't just some abstract thing for a lab. It is a fundamental property that affects pretty much everything. I mean, think about it. The super low pH of our stomach acid is absolutely essential for digesting food. The pH of our blood has to stay in this incredibly tiny, narrow range, or we get really sick. For farmers, the pH of the soil decides which crops will even grow. And all those cleaning products we use, bleach, soap, they rely on their high alkaline pH to cut through grease and grime. From the lemon in your drink to the milk in your cereal, everything has its place on the scale. When you boil it all down, this is really the key takeaway. The pH scale is like a secret decoder ring. It lets us read and finally understand the invisible chemistry that is constantly, quietly shaping the world all around us, and even the world inside of us. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? The pH scale helps us see one hidden layer of our reality. So what other invisible codes, what other secret languages of science are out there, shaping our world, just waiting for us to figure them out?